19-yard field goal attempt.
Snap demands
8 seconds to go.
The victory. There's the snap. There's the kick. There's the win. The Volunteers celebrating.
Seymour finds room. 10, 5, touchdown Commodores.
Throws into the end zone. Touchdown Missouri. The Tigers go to 7-0.
He's going down. The Tigers are going to win. The Tigers are going to win.
There's the kick.
It is good. Auburn has upset number 6 LSU.
This is what it feels
We welcome you to T-Town, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The $1 Million Band from the University of Alabama, a part of the scene every Saturday during a home game. And a dapper A.J. McCarron, adorned with a bow tie, leads his team in toward Bryant-Denny Stadium, where once inside and on the field, they will be greeted by a crowd that will exceed 101,000. We welcome you to the SEC Home Depot on CBS. This afternoon, the Volunteers of Tennessee against the top-ranked Crimson Tide. BCS standings were released for the first time this year. Last Sunday, you see Alabama on top, Florida State second, Oregon third, followed by Ohio State. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. Let's talk about those BCS standings, Gary. It would appear, given the way Florida State and Oregon are playing, that Alabama might have to win out to get to the title.
I wouldn't depend on a loss from those two teams, and there's a couple other undefeated teams too. So I think they, to control their own destiny, need to think about winning them all. But they've got their formula going now, Vern. Their defense is playing tip-top, better than anybody in the country. And when A.J. McCarron has help at the running back, like he's getting now with a 1-2 punch, he's pretty tough to stop too. T.J. Yeldon is the main guy this year, and he is breaking out and doing the things that the lead running back for Alabama does. And now he's got a partner. Kenyon Drake has emerged as the number 2 running back for Alabama, but they're just the first two. If they don't do it, they got a couple other guys that can fill in too.
Tennessee comes in under first-year head coach with a 4-3 record. What a contrast in emotions in their last 2 games. At home against Georgia, they got it to overtime. This seemed to be a touchdown until Pig Howard's fumble led to Marlon Wall's tears. But last week, another ranked team came into Neyland Stadium. Michael Pilardi's 19-yard field goal at the gun gave the underdog Volunteers a win over South Carolina. Now, how equipped is Tennessee to compete in this game?
Well, it's just not emotions that they're winning these games with. They're a better football team. You look all across the line, whether it's defensive line, their secondary, they're much improved, but you got to start at quarterback. Justin Worley, just a month ago, was benched by Butch Jones. Since then, he has come on. He's playing steady football, but he's got some help. Those young receivers that Tennessee started this season with have started to mature, and they've got a game breaker. Marquez North is one of those guys that give any secondary problems. We'll see if he can do it today.
Volunteers come into Bryant-Denny to take on the top-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll be back to Tuscaloosa right after this. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Geico. The Home Depot, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and by Bud Light. Moments ago, first on the field of Bryant-Denny Stadium, the Crimson Tide of Alabama and their head coach, Nick Saban. shortly by the Volunteers of Tennessee and their head coach, Butch Jones. And just a moment ago, he was with Tracy Wilson.
Coach, all week you referred to this Alabama team as the red team. What message were you trying to send to your players?
Well, just confidence. You know, they're a great football team, great football program, a lot of respect, but they're our rival. And, you know, we have to bring our A game, but looking forward to this great challenge.
And you're coming off a huge upset win. How can you use that momentum here today?
Well, belief. You know, belief in our style of play.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy, thank you. What a splendid day. 64 degrees. Winds out of the south-southwest at 5, and the forecast for severe clear all through the day. These old foes first met in 1901. Alabama does lead the all-time series. It was played for 66 consecutive years on the third Saturday in October. Then a schedule change invoked by the SEC in 1994 dictated that the game sometimes slipped to the fourth Saturday, which is where we find it today. One more note. Alabama's won the last 6, and they have done so in convincing fashion.
But you know what Butch told Tracy, Vern, I think is important. The last 4 years, Tennessee came into this game with at least losing the 2 prior games. This year they come in with a win. They got to feel better about themselves.
Alabama won the toss. They will receive Michael Filarti's kick. This will be Christian Jones. This year, he has 1 of 100 yards, and he's on the loose now. Banged out of bounds by Filarti.
Christian Jones had that breakout game against Virginia Tech. I mean, he scored with a punt return, kickoff return, and a pass. He's a tremendously gifted returner.
That was good for a return of 48 yards. And that brings A.J. McCarron and the Alabama offense on the field of play. T.J. Yeldon is the running back. He'll get the handoff and sweeps right. Pretty good first down play. And let's introduce you to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And we begin with the red shirt senior A.J. McCarron.
Well, I mean, we've seen this guy grow right before our eyes, but as he was growing, he was putting championships on the board at the same time. Well, a tremendous career, and he's kind of opened up, hasn't he? I mean, he's easy to talk to, and one of the reasons is because we get to talk to him. We had a good time yesterday.
Quite true. Here's the quick toss. Left side, Amari Cooper. Off to a slow start this season, battling a turf toe, but nearing full health. Now there's a flag down. Matt Moore is the referee today.
I think this was T.J. Yeldon.
Number 10 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second out.
McCarron. Really?
I thought T.J. Yeldon got a block in the back, number 4.
Yeah.
He just got the wrong number.
Happens.
A little nervous.
Happens.
Yes. 1-0.
Quanjo and Quanjo. Lindsey gets the start at center. Cyrus Quanjo, a little bit gimpy at practice this week, but he's as good as they've got at Alabama. And you saw the remainder of the offensive lineup out of the spread. McCarron goes the opposite side to Cooper. Same play, different result.
Jeez.
He is flying. There are no flags this time. Touchdown. 54 yards.
Tony, number 35, took a poor angle. Christian Jones gets the first block, but number 35, Tony, bad angle, gives up a touchdown, and the nightmare of Alabama receivers having breakout games against Tennessee continues. Julio Jones, Marquise Meggs. Last year was Cooper and Cooper again.
And here is Cade Foster with the extra point. Amari Cooper a year ago, 59 catches for an even 1,000 yards. Slow start, as we mentioned, because of a turf toe. He zooms 54 yards with this one. Touchdown on his 16th catch of the season. Three plays, 7-0 Alabama. Gary?
Yeah, and Tennessee, Vern, was playing very conservatively. First of all, they had 2 safeties, but an 11-yard cushion here by Tony. When you're a defensive coach, you're expecting your safety to close and make that play. You know, they can make 5 or 6 or 7 yards. You just can't give up touchdowns. That was reminiscent of the Florida game. They gave one just like that.
The totals on Amari Cooper for the year. Sophomore, brilliant receiver. Very slow start this year.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a turf toe he's been struggling with. Remember, against Tennessee last year, Cooper went for 162 yards against them as a true freshman.
Cade Foster will kick off, and Devin Young, Jerron Tony are the deep man. Devin Young from the 5 to the 21. And we'll introduce you to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Volunteers. Quarterback, Justin Worley.
Well, you know, Vern, Justin Worley's got his work cut out for him because, you know, a few games back was at A&M game, I guess, when we did them. I put a formula together that how do you beat Alabama? And I said effective quarterback isn't it? You have to be elite quarterback. You got to be, remember, Garcia, 20 for 22. You got to be really good to beat these guys. They gobble up average quarterbacks for Alabama.
That was South Carolina in 2010. Here is Tennessee in 2013. Quick opener up the middle. Rajon Neal, number 20, who is the leading ground gainer for this volunteer squad. Richardson, Bullard, Stone, Fulton, and James. This is an outstanding senior-led line, and the feature is James Stone at the center.
That's the key. Veteran line. We've talked about it before. They must play a big game today.
Peg Howard, number 2, in motion wide to the left side, sets up in the slot. Good protection, deep left side, man on man, and incomplete. Jason Kroom, number 18, was the intended receiver. Dion Blue was defending.
And he did a great job of cutting off the receiver when the ball was in the air. See Dion Blue get right in the track of the receiver and then force it wide. That is perfect coverage. I like the call by Tennessee, though. If you're going to play man-to-man outside, let them know you're willing to throw the deep ball. Let the red team know you're willing to go deep.
3rd and 4. On Tennessee's first possession of the game, that is Pig Howard, number 2, going in motion. Worley again, good protection, goes across the middle, overthrows Brendan Downs, who was wide open.
Brendan Downs would like to have that one back. He's 6'5". I can't imagine it was that high. Yeah, he stumbled before the ball got there, tripped over his own feet.
Yeah.
He made himself 5'8".
Trust me, I know. That's not a good thing.
I mean, that was great protection by the Tennessee offensive line. Worley went to the right player, and they shot themselves in the foot.
Michael Pilardi, who is one of 6 Division I specialists who punts, place kicks, and kicks off.
Beautifully on this one.
He's having a terrific year. Last week, there's the return by Christian Jones. That was pretty effective, too. Pilardi last week in that win over South Carolina had 6 downed inside the 20. 58-yard punt, 17 on the return. 7-0 Crimson Tide.
the end of that kickoff return, it looked like Christian Jones winced a bit to me on this hit. Let's keep an eye on that.
Ball marked for play just shy of the 35-yard line.
Looks like he's in the game, though.
7-0 on the opening drive of the game. Amari Cooper, 54-yard catch.
I think this is a significant series for the Tennessee defense.
And let's introduce you to that defense for the Volunteers. Smith, McCullers, Daniel McCullers, 6 tackles. Last week he's a load, 6'6", 380. Saw the man in the middle, linebacker A.J. Johnson. All Southeast Conference, number 45. 2nd and 6. McCarron's got all ready. DeAndrew White. Well, A.J. McCarron, redshirt senior, has carved out quite a remarkable career, Gary.
Well, you know, a lot of people talking about how A.J. is going to do on the Lex level. That's been asked me almost every radio show I've been on the last week. I think he's really going to benefit from the offseason. I think he's going to test great in the combine, interview well. He's great size. I think he can do nothing but go up. Hard to believe winning 3 championships, and he might benefit from the offseason.
It is amazing. Yeldon wrapped up high. That's Daniel McCullers, featured just a moment ago.
I think Daniel McCullers, Vern, as you mentioned and highlighted, he might be the key player in the game for Tennessee. Tennessee does not want to crowd the box. You can see why on that long touchdown pass. They want to control. They're not going to stop, but control the running game with their front 4 and their linebackers. If Sapp and A.J. Johnson don't have a lot of tackles, they're going to be in big trouble. The problem for Tennessee is, can they stay fresh enough? They don't have a lot of depth.
2nd down and 9. No pressure on McCarron. Kevin Norwood underneath. High hurdle. Caught in midair and brought down. But it's a big gain for Alabama.
Kevin Norwood has done nothing but kind of dependable for Alabama. Had the great national championship game, had a great game against LSU, coming through at the end of their great drive when they came back in Baton Rouge. He's in the right spot at the right time, and you can tell A.J. believes, you know, they played a lot together, both 50-year seniors. They know that they've been together and where they're going to be.
4 wides on 1st down 10 at the 30, the 25-yard line. McCarron dances off the back foot, throws it incomplete, and a flag is also down.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Number 97 of the defense, half the distance, 1st down.
You can tell by Butch Jones's face right there. He knows how important this drive is. He's got his players believing and hoping and everything feeling good. He needed badly to get this game into the second half. Left side of this middle of your screen right there, number 97, the left tackle. Hood is the guy that gets the hand right into the face mask of Anthony Steen, number 61.
You saw the flag thrown by the umpire. So a 1st down and 10 now inside at the 13-yard line. Yeldon will get the handoff and go right. Contact made near the 10-yard line. Brent Brewer, number 17. And take a look at the Verizon red zone stats now. 27 trips inside the 20, resulting in 19 touchdowns. That's better than the national average.
From now on for Alabama, we're just going to say probably good, right? I mean, if we assume it's good.
Right.
Well, can this Tennessee defensive line, will Alabama continue to run the ball? Looks like a passing down here, 2nd and long.
Kenny Bell and Norwood are top of the screen. You see Amari Cooper and DeAndrew White near side. Yeldon up the middle.
There's the problem.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at the 1.
Yep, there's the
1 foot.
problem. They can attack anywhere on the field with any play in their playbook. You know, the tough yards for an offense is second and long inside the 10, 12-yard line. Usually it's tough to run the game, run the ball against that in this part of the field. They just spread it out and run the tailback, first and goal.
And the line judge ruled that the knee had hit the ground first. So it's marked. And Jalston Fowler, number 45, comes into fullback. That's Vogler, 84. He's set up left side. Yeldon behind the block. Touchdown, Alabama. They are quickly up 13-zip.
You know, the word balanced is always used about Alabama. Now, you know, they got great players everywhere. Offensive line, they've got all these recruiting classes with 4- and 5-star recruits, but they strive for their balance, and that's why they're so tough to defend on defense. You don't know if they're going to run the ball or pass the ball on any down, practically.
Well, they used 3 plays for the first touchdown. They go 7 this time. A more methodical march down the field, but Yeldon gets the TD from a foot away. And before you can take a second breath, the Crimson Tide lead by 2 touchdowns. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS. Lead game early, Miami at New England. Lead game late, Pittsburgh at Oakland. We've got 3 others on the menu for tomorrow. The NFL on CBS, and it all begins with the NFL Today. JB and the quartet tomorrow at 12 Eastern Time, presented by Southwest Airlines. 8:44 to go in the first here. And quick striking Alabama. 54-yard catch by Amari Cooper, and then a 1-foot touchdown run by Yeldon. That brings on Kate Foster to kick off. Devin Young and Jerron Toney are the deep men for Tennessee. Touchback. Introduce you now to the Alabama defense. Stinson Lake places Brandon Ivory at the nose guard. Pagan, Hubbard, Mosley, Duvall, Williams, and Landon Collins moves over to the strong safeties, a true freshman, and he does get Clinton Dix back for the second week in a row. Clinton Dix has served a 2-game suspension. All of this because Vinny Sunseri is out for the rest of the year with an ACL torn on a kickoff return last week. There's Clinton Dix.
Well, Vinny Sunseri injured his knee, his ACL, on special teams, covering a kickoff. It was a non-contact injury. Actually hurt his knee as he was kind of slowing down to accept the block, but he was out at practice, Vern, Thursday, all hyped up, and he's here at the game today, obviously.
Worley got a man wide open. Marquez North inside the 40 before he is tackled by Clinton Dix.
Well, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Tennessee. Butch Jones told Tracy, we believe, but plays like this keeps it going and gives them hope that they can move the ball. You know, they've struggled moving scoring, obviously, against Alabama, but they've got some receivers now that can go up and catch some balls, some tall guys.
That is a 38-yard reception and a first down at the 37-yard line.
Remember how Mike Evans was such a dynamic player against Alabama. These Tennessee receivers have that size.
Here's Neal testing the middle and getting about 3. Mike Evans of Texas A&M, of course. Well, let's go back to the studio for Liberty Mutual Insurance update. Here's Tim.
Vern Gary Bobby Bowden is back at Doak Campbell Stadium for the first time since he vacated the position, and he's watching his old team led by Jameis Winston, finding Kelvin Benjamin 39 yards on the receiving end of that one. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. Second down and 8 at the 35. Volunteers trailing by 14. Marlon Lane and Rajon Neal both in the backfield. Lane is the better receiver of the two running backs. Reverse. Pig Howard gets a little bit of a tiny block from Worley, but guess who's there? Trey DePriest, number 33, was the first one, and then he had some help from Cyrus Jones, number 5.
Trey DePriest read this play so fast, the middle linebacker that time. He doesn't get a lot of playing time nowadays because of these spread offenses. But when he was in there, he's highly recruited, smelled that play out almost instantly, and gave the reverse man no place to run the ball.
Third down and 7. Volunteers, 4 wides. Clinton Dix sneaks up. Worley goes left side, incomplete for Pig Howard.
Yeah, could this be 4-down territory if you're Butch Jones? And it would be over a 50-yard field goal. I think they're going to go for it. I'd go for it.
You've lost 6 in a row to this team.
Right.
You won a big victory last week. Why not?
Remember, he was 3 for 3 in that Georgia game.
Alabama brings 5.
Oh, missed it. But it would have been short also. Not a great decision by Worley that time. Even if it was completed, I don't think that would, without a broken tackle, that would not have been a first down. Tight end, right? I think that's who he threw it to right there. I'm not. No, it actually was outside. They rotated the players.
That was Cody Blanc, who's not listed on any depth chart. Number 83 was on the field, the intended receiver. Time called on the change of possession. See more of today's game with the all-22 camera angle exclusively on CBSSports.com. Watch all of the action live now at CBSSports.com/SEC. On the 4th down turnover, Alabama's got it back, 1st down and 10. Play action, McCarron steps up. Little shovel pass is dropped by Kenyon Drake, the second of the 2 running backs that Gary featured as we came on the air. Young man, great speed for Drake.
AJ took a big shot on that one after he let that ball go. Was driven into the ground pretty strongly. Watch as he shovels it forward. He gets some big weight on him too. McCullers, whew, 2 guys on him.
Yeah, Corey Miller and Daniel McCullers. 2nd down and 10. Drake is the running back. McCarron, beautiful timing route. Yeah. Kenny Bell, number 7.
Nice tackle that time by Justin Coleman to put this in a position for 3rd and short. Protection, completion, and tackle. They're going to complete passes. Nobody will yell about that if you're Tennessee defense of staff. But when they make the play, make the tackle and force them to make the 3rd down and short.
And so it's 3rd and 1. Alabama up by 2 touchdowns, 5:21 to go in the opening quarter. Drake is still the running back. Let's see.
Yeah, it looked like he pushed his way forward. It really did. And, just talking about Vern, Butch Jones, going for the 4th down play, the story of this series in the recent history for Butch Jones, he wasn't here for it, but his inability to score points. 13 points is the most they've scored since 2007. I mean, it's just been impossible for them to put points on the board against Alabama. Tough to win a game if you don't put more than 13 points on the board.
That's Kenny Bell, who came in motion, and he's out of the backfield. McCarron will throw it away. Dontavis Sapp, number 41, closest to it. Second down and 10.
If 41 and 45 do not have big games,
yes,
I think that's a bad sign for Tennessee, because that means that offensive line for Alabama is getting to that second level and blocking those two tacklers, the two linebackers for Tennessee. If that Tennessee defensive line keeps the offensive line off of them, they should have a lot of tackles.
Well, you saw them both, A.J. Johnson, Dontavis Sapp, and now second down and 10. 4.5 to go. Draw play. Kenyon Drake. Hauled down, but not until he gained a lot. Justin Coleman, number 27, after the 11-yard gain.
Very interesting type of play. You run that. It's really a counter off of the draw. Cyrus Kwanjo actually pulled the left tackle and led Drake to the right side on that run. Very effective play, well blocked by the Alabama offensive line.
Now you see the 7th first down to only one for Tennessee thus far. At a first down 10 across midfield at the 45. McCarron. The Andrew White. Offensively, this is almost too easy.
Well, and one of the problems if you're trying to stop Alabama that anyone is going to face is, as balanced as they are running and passing, they're also balanced as who they throw the ball to. It could be any one of 5 or 6 different receivers that they play throughout the game, and when he drops back, any one of them could be the target. Balance in the game, 8 runs, 8 passes.
First down and 10. Twin receivers here. Amari Cooper, nice job of cutting through by Cameron Sutton, a true freshman cornerback who's having a very solid year.
Sure is. And if you talk to any coach about these wide receiver screens that seem to be a staple in every offense now, you ask him, how do you stop them? And he goes, the defensive backs must defeat the block. And I wonder if that twinged that toe of Amari Cooper again.
It might have been his right knee.
Yeah,
might have been.
Helmet right on the knee, was it?
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, we got the wolf is all over it. Tracy is in pursuit of the information right now. Drake breaks the tackle. Let's take another look at that Cooper play and see if we can determine.
Well, Cameron Sutton defeated the block, and let's see where, if the helmet was on the knee, could have been, yes, his right knee. That's exactly where it looked like in that replay. 3rd and short again.
That's Cooper. What a talent. 3rd and 1. Fowler and Drake are in the backfield. Fowler is the load, who is at fullback. And Drake follows Fowler for the first down. Just on the edge on the right side, A.J. Johnson, who leads this Tennessee team in tackles, made the stop there.
Vern, one of the keys for Tennessee in their win against South Carolina last week is they held South Carolina and Steve Spurrier's offense to only 4 of 14 conversions on 3rd down. But the key part of that was 9 of them were for more than 7 yards they had to pick up. That's not what happens when you play Alabama. They get a lot of 3rd and shorts, much more difficult to stop the 3rd down conversion.
I think they've converted 3 3rd and 1s already. And it's first down and 10. Jones drops it. Now let's go back to the studio for a Liberty Mutual Insurance update once again. Here's Tim.
Vern, Gary, Johnny Manziel had 4 touchdown tosses before taking the 4th quarter off today. Here's one of them to Mike Evans, who Gary alluded to a few moments ago. 305 yards on the 4 touchdowns, 56-24 over Vandy. 11 straight with 40-plus points. That's the longest streak with that output in the nation. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Tim. Well, we talked about it last week.
I wasn't impressed with it today. He didn't throw any left-handed touchdown passes. I thought for sure he'd try to do it.
On 2nd and 10, took it out right side, Yeldon.
Another good tackle.
Yes, it was. Justin Coleman, number 27.
When you have your two corners, Coleman and Sutton, making tackles. Remember, it was the safety that missed the tackle on the long, quick screen pass for Cooper. That sets the stage. Can now the rest of that Tennessee defense, namely the safeties, come up and play that type? 3rd and long. Now let's see if they can get and force a 4th down field goal attempt for Alabama.
And this is the 12th play of the drive for the Crimson Tide. From the 22-yard line. McCarron deep down the middle, got a man wide open.
Nobody covered
Kevin
him.
Norwood, touchdown.
Tennessee's changed their defense late, and then they busted. Brian Moore had Norwood man-to-man. He didn't cover him.
Kate Foster for the extra point.
Communication. I mean, it's tough enough to beat these guys when you know what you're doing. Now watch all the communication that's going to go on. Norwood is lined up right there. Tennessee switches. They call it. Brian Moore's making the call to his team. He turns around trying to get his guys lined up and then doesn't cover somebody. Now, maybe someone else was supposed to switch off, but that's way too easy.
That was LaDarryl McNeil, who appeared to arrive late. McCarron. That's the only thing he's not done well today.
Right.
$101,000 plus on this gorgeous October afternoon, and for the most part, they're pulling for the Crimson Tide. So there's a certain enjoyment factor that permeating this place. 21-0. Kate Foster will kick off.
I don't want to say it's a bad sign, 21-0, but Nick has set up some security to make sure the students don't leave early.
That has been a big issue here about the south end zone, where students are seated in blocks according to fraternity and sorority allocations. And many of them have been leaving games early, especially night games.
Right.
When it's 42-0. Devin Young. Well, here, let's listen to Nick Saban and his comments. A quote, rather. I've talked about players playing for 60 minutes in the game and competing for 60 minutes in the game. And in some kind of way, everybody that chooses to go to the game should stay there and support the team for the game. Well, they have announced, I think this is correct, that they're going to do away until November with the reserved seating. I would say that scheduling Georgia State and Chattanooga is not helpful. 1st down and 10. And let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Well, guys, it's actually a 1-game suspension for these fans. It is a first offense, and the rule is actually in the handbook for these student organizations. A second offense, though, that they take those tickets away and give them to someone else who wants to stay here for all 60 minutes, guys.
All right, Trace. That's the end of the first. The score, 21-0 Alabama. We'll return to Tuscaloosa after this message and a word from your local station. Alabama at Bryant-Denny through the first 15 minutes of play. As we get set for the start of the second quarter, the Crimson Tide lead 21-0 with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. I'm Vern Lundquist. Second down and 9. Worley, the quarterback. 4 down. He comes near side. It's caught. Pig Howard for a modest gain. Well, we've seen this Alabama team just at will. How dismayed are you if you're Tennessee right now?
I think you have to be shook by this. I mean, in little things, a bad angle produces a touchdown pass. Wide receiver falls down on an easy completion, and then 3rd and long. You finally get Alabama in a position to stop them on 3rd down. You blow a coverage. I don't know who it was, but it was 1 or 2 guys.
3rd down 3. Man, they're going to have to burn a timeout.
If they burn 3 timeouts, they got to get this 1st down right here.
Very little going right for the Volunteers of Tennessee. Tuesday on CBS, it's almost Halloween, and someone is playing tricks on NCIS. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 show Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. After the timeout, 3rd down and 3. Volunteers at their own 25. Worley got a man. 1st down. This is Jason Kroom, number 18, across the 30. And a big 3rd down.
Actually, it was a must 1st down for Tennessee. That's why I said I don't care if they take 3 timeouts. They have to have a 1st down right here. Their defense needs it. Everybody needs it on that Tennessee sideline. Get something positive going.
3 wides to the left. Worley comes to the inside man. That's Howard. And he slips and falls as he tries to make his cut. C.J. Mosley, number 32, the All-American linebacker, was right there.
You know, one of the numbers I wrote down in this game was 59-14. That's what Oregon beat Tennessee early in the year. And I was wondering if is this a bigger number, 59-14 for Alabama? I don't think so. They control their own destiny. But I think Tennessee wants to see improvement. They don't want one of these 59 games again.
Now, that was the 3rd game of the season, and Oregon in Eugene scored on 8 consecutive possessions, the longest of which took 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
But they started out the game a little bit where Tennessee was playing well and stopped them, and then all of a sudden the dam broke. This is completely different. This has started out 21-0 down.
Justin Worley from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Lost his job earlier this year to Nathan Peterman. After that Oregon loss, we saw Peterman open at quarterback at Florida. Had a horrendous first half of play. Worley came on to replace him, and Peterman in the process injured a hand, so he's on the shelf. Stone snaps it back. Worley, not a threat to run. And that's Marquez North. Gary alluded to his size comparison to Mike Evans. He's 6'4". He's a large target.
He is, but that one coming across the shallow, he was about the 4th player that Worley was going to go to, and Jarek Williams actually is only in the game playing right now. That would be Vinny Sunseri's spot right there. Landon Collins is playing. Clinton Dix is playing. They went 6 defensive backs on that play, and they kept everything in front of them.
And so on 4th down and 3, Michael Pilardi is on to punt.
Yeah, Alabama's defense, they were playing safe. They did not want a fake punt here. Nick took a timeout.
CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot SEC will continue after this word from your local station. If you are an assistant coach under Nick Saban, you must have a thick skin.
Well, that's Kirby Smart, defensive coordinator, a long time. He's paid well, and he's, as Nick says at practice all the time, when I'm yelling, don't be so sensitive. I yell at everybody. Got an earful, but have to play defense safe, which Jones has gone for it many times on fourth down. Might be a spot to fake it, but Alabama plays safe and keeps their defense out there.
And the punt from Michael Pilardi deep to Christian Jones. That will bounce at the 19 and hop out of bounds. Pilardi's having a fine senior season. And Christian Jones is having a fine year as well. This Halloween, there's nothing scarier than living with your patients. Parents.
Either way.
Thank you. Will Arnett, Margot Martindale, and Bo Bridges star in the new hit comedy The Millers Thursday after The Big Bang Theory, only CBS. I knew what I wanted to say. And so here's A.J. McCarron.
Vern, what do you do if you're Tennessee? Do you have any idea if they're going to play a play-action pass, a flea flicker, or a run-off tackle?
Well, let's run to the left side. Exactly. Yeldon wrapped up, but after another significant gain, Ladero McNeil, number 33, makes the stop. And let's go down to Trace.
Well, guys, we saw Amari Cooper hurt that right knee on the last touchdown drive. They put a black brace on it, then replaced it with a softer brace for more comfort, and he assured the trainers, McCarron and Saban, he's okay to get back in there.
All right, thank you. Second down and 4. 21-0, early moments, second quarter. All Alabama. Ryan Kelly's in at center now. He missed a couple of games with an injury. And Yeldon to the 30-yard line. Jerron Tony, number 35.
And that's a job that Tony has to do on those edge runs. Come up and make the tackle. It's a tough job playing safety against these power running plays of Alabama. Your job is to come up and fill on the run plays, but stay back deep enough to help on the pass plays. You have to be really bright and read your keys.
First down 10.
Still perfect balance for Alabama. 12 run, 12 pass.
McCarron right side, caught by Norwood. Beautiful.
And that was back shoulder. That wasn't just an underthrown ball. That's exactly where that ball was placed. Good coverage to the outside. Norwood knew exactly where that ball was going. You know, you get that type of precision throwing the ball. You know, as we met with AJ yesterday, you could almost feel him just dying to show the kind of talent he believes he has. But he likes winning too, doesn't he?
Yes. Well, he's the winningest quarterback by percentage now in Alabama history, having lost only 2. And there's another beauty. That's Amari Cooper.
What a snap by Cooper right there, wasn't it? Nice throw, but watch Cooper. It's the fake of the wide receiver screen. Cooper comes inside and just snaps that ball out of the midair. You know, Vern, if I was going to give Nick Saban's program 3 words to describe it, I would say recruit. Okay, they get the best.
Yes.
Matchup. He loves to match up his defense or his offense of where he thinks it's vulnerable. And then balance would be the 3rd word. And balance is what he strives for on offense and defense.
And he's almost 50-50 on play call so far. Reverse Christian Jones gets a block from Vogler and heads back the other way.
Recruit. This is a recruit.
Watch out. Out of bounds. Ridden down as he gets 3 yards out of bounds. All of that, and he picked up 20 yards.
See, that's why I started with the word recruit, because you got to get athletes like this, no matter how balanced you are, no matter what play you call, whether you call 12 runs and 12 passes, you got to have talent that can make this happen in real time.
Dontavis Sapp got the tackle, but did you see T.J. Yeldon, the running back, down there trying to perform duties as a one-man convoy? There you go. He got 1 block before that, before you saw him enter the screen. Wow.
Better make this recruit bigger letters.
Yeah, I think so.
Capitalize that.
All caps. Play action. McCarron out of the backfield. Kevin Norwood again. And for an injury update, let's check in once again with Tracy.
Well, guys, their safety, Brian Randolph for Tennessee, he's on the sideline. He hurt that right shoulder earlier in the game, tried to play through it. Now they were doing a lot of of treatment on it. He put back on his jersey, and he's going to try and work it out here on the sidelines and see if he can get back in there.
First down and goal.
He probably is the kind of the similar player to Vinny Sunseri. He's the quarterback of that defense, calls out those plays a lot of times, a very veteran player. It's going to hurt Tennessee.
I formation now. Fowler is back in as the lead block, and you follow Fowler, you go left, and Yeldon does that. TJ Yeldon down at the 1. Brent Brewer, number 17, with the stop. Here are the Verizon Red Zone stats on A.J. McCarron this season.
They should say also good.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. 6 touchdowns. He's only thrown 3 interceptions this year. And as we said, he is the all-time winning quarterback in Alabama history by percentage, surpassing the percentage mark of Jay Barker back in the 90s. Play action. He wants Yeldon. And he'll instead tuck it, dive, touchdown, Alabama. Cross the plane.
Yeah. Now remember, his knee looked like it was down before he reached out. Let's see. The tight end falls down on the play. So one of the key players that A.J. was going to throw to actually fell down. Let's see if the ball breaks the plane. His knee was down. Now, his knee looked like it was down just short of the front of that line.
Down. The previous play is under further review.
You know, Vern, we had our guys kind of work on what breaking the plane looks like. We talk about it so much. The front part of that line, right there, that's the plane. When that ball crosses that all the way up to 8 feet down to 1 inch, that's breaking the plane.
That was from last week, Auburn and A&M. Trey Jackson. Now another look at McCarron. Watch the knee, boom.
Now the ball would have broken the plane had his knee not been on the ground.
Right.
You think I could get paid for both the replay official and the analyst at this?
Knowing you well, I know you'll negotiate it.
Just to talk a little bit about that balance, Vern, of that Alabama and Nick Saban has done. Since 2009, Alabama has gained 26,460 yards. 13,616 passing, 12,844 running, 48%. If you just flipped 386 yards, it would be within 1%.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how close they are. 1.5% difference in running and passing with a 380-yard flop.
After further review, it is ruled that the runner did not reach the goal line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line. 3rd down.
And I know I get laughed at a lot because I say that, yes, up-tempo means something, no huddle means something, but they're doing this all with a huddle. How can they do this?
I know. It's extraordinary. They managed pretty well.
Seems like everybody's saying it's impossible to do it without a huddle. How are they doing this?
Oh, goodness. 3rd down goal. That's Vogler, number 84. Yeldon. And it becomes a moot point. The score now 27-0. Mentioned that Tennessee has lost its last 6 in this series. There's the touchdown from Yeldon.
He ran right over Quanjo, Cyrus Quanjo, number 71. Cyrus Quanjo got his block, pushed him so far, turned around and said, uh-oh, here comes number 4 right at me.
Each of the last 3 Alabama wins, each of them, has been by a margin of 31 points. We're getting close. Foster is good. 41-10 in 2010, 34-6 in 2011, 44-13 in 2012. TJ Yeldon got a touchdown on that last play to make it 28-0 right now. And now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. Gary?
Well, we set this up in the middle of the drive talking about recruiting, right, Vern? And they've recruited a lot of great players. Mari Cooper, so many tools to go to. Kevin Norwood, been around forever catching big classes. TJ Yeldon, obviously the new lead back after Ingram, Richardson, and Eddie Lacy has lead. A new emerging speed back, Kenyon Drake. And of course, Christian Jones, the returner. And those are just the tools on the top shelf. I mean, those are the guys that get the ball. Way on the back shelf, these are the guys that make it go. Those offensive linemen. They are doing it. Kwanjo on the left, 71. His brother Ari, all along that offensive line, opening up and blocking to make this offense so dynamic and so balanced.
And Gary, this was an offensive line that lost 3 starters from a year ago, including 2 #1 draft picks, and the All-American Barrett Jones. Chance Warmack.
Vern, I don't know. I want to say this real quick before it's not going to go. 28 plays. I don't know if I've ever read anything like this. 15 first downs in 28 plays.
From the goal line, this is Devin Young, hoping to make something happen for the Volunteers, and he is chased out of bounds by Cyrus Jones, number 5. So a positive play, 44 yards on the return.
When you're getting manhandled, you need athletic plays like Young just produced right here to give some hope, because Butch Jones came into this game after a win. The Tennessee fan base, the players, the support group, they all said that's the best 6 quarters that Tennessee has played in a long time. We believe we're on the right track. Now they got to keep playing. They got to put that score out of their mind and just play football.
Rajon Neal is alongside the quarterback, Justin Worley. 1st and 10 with 7:08 to go in the second quarter. Worley, play action, chased. Not very elusive, but there were a couple of missed tackles, and he gets back near the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Allen, number 93, caught up with him.
I think it was Darren Lake. Darren Lake that had the first shot at him and missed the tackle, playing for Brandon Ivy, and at the end cleaned up on the play, but Lake almost had the big sack.
2nd down and 9.
There you go. Plays, first downs.
That does not augur well.
No.
However, one chooses to use augur in that sense. 28-0, 2nd down and 9. And here comes Alabama defensively. They go over left tackle, left guard, Rajon Neal, number 20. Third and 4 at midfield. Previous conversion was on another 3rd and 4 earlier in the quarter. Worley takes off on him. Intercepted. Picked off by Dion Blue. That thing was quacking as it came into his arms. Blue with a convoy. And Worley is there to knock him down.
I think it might be Worley's thumb on this throw. He came in with a bad thumb from the previous game against South Carolina. He has it wrapped. He tried warming up with the glove on and off, and that ball actually slipped out before he hit his thumb. This ball slips out, I believe, before yes, it did. And he hurt that hand before he crashed it in the helmet. And the only quarterbacks backing up Justin Worley now are 2 true freshmen who Butch Jones is both are trying to redshirt this year.
Now, Joshua Dobbs and Riley Ferguson are the 2 freshmen. Neither has taken a snap this season. There's Ferguson, both highly regarded.
And Dobbs right next to him.
Yeah. Well, we were told yesterday that if something did happen to Worley, it would be Dobbs first in. On the turnover with 5:33 to go, Kenyon Drake is the running back. McCarron. That one's tipped and incomplete. Well, the junior quarterback from South Carolina, Rock Hill, South Carolina, getting medical attention. There's Dobbs, number 11, and Riley close by.
Hey, the torque of the throws kind of sprained and kind of aggravated that injury.
Second down 10. Dobbs warming up. Draw play. Kenyon Drake. Gary, you had us had the guys tape Worley in pregame warm-ups.
Yeah, and looking at that thumb, he came out. You can see his right thumb taped. He has a glove in his shorts right there. He put that on and tried that. So you could tell a little bit that he was favoring it. Under controlled circumstances, it didn't seem to bother him. But once the game started and he made an instinctive throw, it seemed to have sprung it. Let's see if it's just one of those, tinges that he can get back in there, or will he have to stay out of the game?
Third down 7. Stunts defensively by Tennessee. Sidearm throw. It's inside the 20-25. Christian Jones makes the catch.
And it's going to be 4th and short, and as Alabama's decided, here's the original injury. Hits his hand on the helmet of the South Carolina defender on the throw. AJ wants to go for it. 4th and about a yard.
And so they will. Alabama 2 of 4 on 4th down attempts so far this year. Ryan Kelly is the center. Kenyon Drake is the running back. 4th and 1. 24-yard line. Drake left to the 16. Make it the 15-yard line. First down, Alabama.
Well, when you have that kind of power on the left side, Quanjo, and it really doesn't matter who's in the game, whether it's TJ Yeldon, Eddie Lacy, Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, just keep going back. It's now it's Kenyon Drake. Run left, make a first down. Georgia and Notre Dame remembers that, don't they?
Oh.
Yes.
Drake again. He is the speedier of the two backs, Drake and
Daniel McCullers,
Yeldon.
another great play by McCullers. He's really come on. He's playing more, just effort, intensity. He's a huge man. And now he's playing at just a higher effort level and making plays when they try to run that ball inside. Very valuable player to have as a big-size defensive tackle like that can keep your linebackers free, and he makes tackles.
Second down and 6 now for the Crimson Tide. They are at the 12-yard line. Drake, spin. Did he lose control before it crossed? I think he did. And that is the indication it will be Tennessee ball.
He fumbled against Kentucky. He is an explosive, dynamic runner that runs and spins at the same time. Let's see what happens here. Gets hit and raked. I believe it was Brian Moore might have freed that ball up on the tackle. Recovered by Cameron Sutton. Puts his head down. And he actually just, I believe he was going to take the ball and try to stretch it out over the goal line. And as he was handling it, as he was trying to reach it out, that's when he fumbles the ball himself. Oh, I would hate that if I was a coach. Keep it tucked and score with your hips.
Dim, thank you. We're back at Bryant-Denny, and from all indications, it would appear that Worley is going to come back. Let's go back and take a look.
You know, our truck and support group did a good job saying, go back to the first down sack. Did Worley get his hand and arm and thumb get driven into the ground on that scramble? He handed off on the next play. Then on third down, his hand still might have been dead, almost like, you know, a funny bone. And when he tried to throw, the ball came out. Had enough rest because of the TV timeout to be able to come back into the football game. Let's see if he's able to play at any capacity of success.
Well, he opens this possession at the 1.5-yard line. Student section right behind him. It is the most deafening part of Bryant-Denny. Run blitz, 1 yard. Rajon Neal out to the 2.5. Alabama defense has shut out 8 of the last 11 opponents in the first half. Second and 9. They will take the chance and put it in the air. Worley hit as he lets it go. It's incomplete.
You know what's interesting is he didn't make any throws on the sideline before he came back into the game. Remember, we did the game last week where Manziel at least tried it. I was surprised he didn't at least try to throw one before he gave the game. And then, you know, whether he had a good thumb or not, Ashawn Robinson that time might not have let anybody throw that one effectively.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, we missed the announcement of the penalty.
Roughing the passer by Robinson.
Ah, that is what it is.
Yep.
Huh? Okay, Ashawn Robinson, number 86.
He might have got it on the pass rush, hand to the face. Remember, it was called earlier against Tennessee. I didn't think he hit Worley strong enough to get that called. It was called on the pass rush. Left side of the screen right there. He has his left hand into the face of James Stone.
Exactly. So on the penalty, it's out to the 18-yard line. First down and 10. Under 2 to go, first half. Short pass, complete. Rajon Neal across the 30 to the 31. That should be enough to move the chains again.
Well, if you want to have hope, if you're a Tennessee fan, remember here with a 2-minute drive, they do get the ball to start the second half.
Left side, caught. Josh Smith, number 25. And Dion Blue makes the tackle. And a reminder that a minute 27 worth of playing time from now. We'll go back to New York. Tim and the gang, the Geico halftime report. And they will get you caught up on scores and highlights from this last Saturday in October around the country. Second down and 1. That's Neal again. We've seen him rushing almost exclusively. We expected to see an equal number of plays for Marlon Lane.
Picked up the first down. It was Hubbard that was down that time.
Yeah.
Hubbard's got his problems too. He's got both hands wrapped up. Really can't use his hands effectively. I don't know if he got broken fingers, jammed fingers, but that time he's saying his bicep is bothering him.
First down 10.
One of those guys that wants off and they just wave you back on. No, we need you out there.
That's right. It's not going to hurt anymore if you stay there. Worley across the middle. Incomplete for Pig Howard.
Ha-ha, Clinton Dix thought he had that one. He was waiting for the ball to be thrown. He was going for the football, not the receiver, and almost had it, but Pig just beat him to the football, to the pigskin.
How about this? Did you see this note? Pig and Ha-ha are cousins.
Did see that.
Spoke last Sunday. It's Alton and Hashan. Their legal names. Worley. Well, not known as a runner, but he got a bunch on that play. And a flag is down.
Really have to feel happy for Justin Worley, what he's gone through in the last month, you know.
Number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty.
This often happens when the quarterback scrambles forward. The offensive lineman, remember, he doesn't see what's happening. He thinks the quarterback's behind him, and when the defender goes to try to make the scramble tackle, you hang on just a little too long. But Worley, you know, gets benched, comes back in, had a couple good games, beat his home state school, South Carolina. He's from the state of South Carolina. That one had to feel good.
Yes, indeed. And it felt good for all the Volunteers and their fans. Very emotional victory last week, but this is a team of a different nature in Alabama. Second down and 20. Long pass caught. How about that? Cody Blank. That's his first catch of the season. Number 83. A gain of 43 yards.
And I'd like to give Justin the benefit of the doubt and call it a back shoulder throw, but it was just woefully underthrown. And Blank came back for it.
And Worley slams the ball to the grass, stopping the clock with 29 seconds to go.
They had 2 timeouts available to him, and you wonder about wasting a down. I don't think Butch Jones wanted that.
So it's second down. Four-man rush. Intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins, the true freshman. One man out in front. That's Pagan. Provides the block on Worley. Collins, 88-yard touchdown interception.
Came off Justin's hand funny that time. No velocity on it. He got away with one earlier on the 40-yard pass, but that had nothing going for it. The ball hung in the air against elite defensive backs. Watch it wobble. Cut off that time by Landon Collins. And then you show his great ability. A 5-star recruit gets the ball in his hand. He's a true freshman. Patient enough to take it to the house. Vern, the staple of Alabama's defense is combo coverage. 3-on-2 here and 3-on-2 over there. These two receivers, now watch how they pass off the players inside out. Stays with it, the ball flutters a bit, 3-on-2, the last safety reads the throw and makes the play. That defense should be attacked in the middle of the field, not to the outside of the field. Alabama had the right defense. Tennessee had a poor throw on a good covered play.
And so 35-0 with 12 seconds to go. This Alabama defense in a shootout in College Station on September 14th outlasted the A&M 49-42. Since then, since that game, third of the season, they've given up 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and every time I hear any quotes from Alabama about that game, they always point out in the second and third quarter, the score was 42-7.
True.
So they still, I always thought that they wanted another piece of Manziel, but it does not look like they're going to get a chance. I'd like to see that myself, wouldn't you?
Yeah. 104 unanswered after the last 3 games. That 1 touchdown was scored by Kentucky. Everything else, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. and nothing recently.
Justin Worley's thumb, he just does not have the grip on the football. If you don't feel that football is in your hand and have good, strong, secure grip, you cannot throw those tight spirals. The balls flutter on you.
After the touchback, should be the final play of the first half. This is Marlon Lane, number 15. .35 zip. Hard to pick a highlight for Alabama, but that 88-yard interception return might qualify for the top spot. Let's go down to Tracy, who's with Nick Saban.
Thanks a lot, Vern. Coach, what would you say about that first half your team put together here?
Well, I think we played really well in the first half. I'm really proud of the way our guys came out and sort of dominated the line of scrimmage, which is really important against a team like this. We turned the ball over on the 1-yard line, and we gave up a couple big plays on defense, but we certainly don't want to let them back in the game, and we need to keep playing for 60 minutes.
Thanks a lot. Vern?
All right. And that's the end of the first half with the score 35 zip. By the way, Saban 69-3 when leading at the half. Let's go to Tim Brando in New York. That's a squeeze.
We're here for 60. Well, actually, a shorter period. It's a halftime, Vern. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, Spencer Bryan and I will have all of the action, including how Miami barely avoided its first loss of the season after this word from your local station.
Alabama here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as we get set for the start of the third quarter. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson for a report.
Well, thanks, guys. I just had a chance to speak with Butch Jones, and he said that Justin Worley's thumb is still being evaluated. So freshman Josh Dobbs will have the ball. This will be his first start. This will be his first game action since high school. And what did Jones say to him? He said, go make the most of the opportunity and show what you got, guys.
All right, thank you, Trace. Josh Dobbs is a true freshman out of Alpharetta, Georgia. He is majoring, he's already declared this, in aeronautical engineering. And a very bright young man. I remember one of the stories we heard about the trip back after they got hammered 59-14 at Oregon. There was one light on in that all-night trip, and it was Josh Dobbs studying for his aeronautical engineering
classes. When we were there early in the year, there was word that Riley Cooper was a little bit of ahead of Josh Dobbs, but apparently Dobbs has come on a little bit, and Riley Cooper's been a bit nicked, too, coming off with injuries of his own.
That is Deveron Young, who is out across the 30. And so what do you make of this, Gary? It's kind of interesting that obviously the injured thumb dictates this, but...
Well, I think the second half of this football game for Tennessee means they have to start getting ready for their next two games.
Gotcha. Missouri
and Auburn. I mean, they got two big football games. I have to say, this is one of the things I hate about the redshirt rule in college football. I've been for this a long time. They just give the guy 5 years to play, and whether he plays his fifth year is up to the coach, but they've been saving Dobbs and Cooper all year. Now they got to burn his full year of eligibility to play in this football game.
Up it goes to Rajon Neal. And Neal's going to be caught, and the ball is punched out, but it will be Tennessee's football, punched out by Landon Collins.
Meant to say Riley Ferguson, excuse me, the other quarterback. But as you see the first play, Dobbs is going to run a little bit more of the Butch Jones zone read offense. He's going to keep the ball. He's a runner. You'll see more of the offense that Butch ran at Cincinnati. A little bit of a different game plan now for Alabama. They did not practice for what they're going to see in the second half. Will they be able to adjust?
First down 10. And the second snap in his career for Josh Dobbs. Marlon Lane is the running back. First and 10 at the 25, and hold everything. Timeout.
Timeout, Tennessee. First timeout of the half.
Butch Jones upset about something. Not sure what.
He said watch the play clock. It was running down. It was taking too much time.
Got it. So time called by the Volunteers. We'll be right back. Justin Worley started the game with an injured thumb, and it was re-injured in the first half.
Yeah, he landed on that scramble play and didn't really realize the severity of it until he tried to throw the next pass 2 downs later.
So Worley is on the Tennessee bench, and Josh Dobbs out of Alpharetta High School, suburb of Atlanta. Hands it off again. Rajon Neal. Well, Josh Dobbs, as we mentioned, one of 2 true freshmen. You see his senior year, 3,625 yards. He threw for 29 and rushed for another 10. Has yet to throw his first pass in a Tennessee uniform.
Yeah, let's see when he keeps the first run play, too, on the zone read, whether he keeps one.
Second and 10. Hands it off to Neal. Neal, a nice job in traffic of getting to the left and picking up a couple of yards.
Just to give you an example, the total domination of Alabama over Tennessee the last 6 years. Vern, in the last 6 meetings combined, Tennessee has scored 16 points in the second half total. Been outscored 116 to 16 in 6 games combined.
3rd and 5 here. Drop.
Come up with a catch. Help him out a little bit. Good throw. Good protection by the offensive line.
Jonathan Johnson dropped it. Missed a couple of weeks with an injury. And Michael Pilardi is on to try and get Tennessee on the board. 4th and 5. Had the game winner last week. This was 37 yards. That was the first game winner of his career. High school, college. This one perfect. And so the Volunteers open the 3rd quarter by getting on the board. They get 3.
And again, for Butch Jones, it's getting this team ready for the future. They got big games going. He wants success in the second half.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Reese's, Verizon, Napa, and by Chick-fil-A. Our score 35-3. Alabama leads Tennessee. The world of college football lost a giant last Sunday with the passing of 80-year-old Don James, head coach for 18 years at Washington. Prior to that at Kent State, where 2 of the men he coached are now very successful coaches. Gary Pinkel of Missouri, Nick Saban of Alabama.
He really cared about people. You know, when you played for him, it wasn't just about winning a game. It was about being a good person, doing the right things in school, getting an education, having a chance to be more successful in life for having been involved in the program. I wouldn't even be a coach if it wasn't for him.
Don James, born in 1932, died at 80 years of age in the Seattle area, where he had served as head coach of the Huskies for 18 wonderfully successive years. Nick Saban and Gary Pinkel both served as graduate assistants under Don James in 1974 at Kent State, the Golden Flashes, and that was the year prior to his being hired at the University of Washington. Here's Pilardi with the kickoff. the Andrew White, and it's going deeper to Christian Jones. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
You know, usually these guys on these kickoffs are straight line speed guys, but Christian Jones is shifty, back and forth, start and stop, and then he shows the speed to the outside. He's really got it all.
And that's a 57-yard return. He had a big one to open the game of 48. And we mentioned that in the opener this year, a 100-yard return against Virginia Tech. First down 10. Yeldon, right side. To the 40-yard line. Well, let's go back to the studio for this Ford update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, Gary, Air Force was out to a quick 7-0 lead, but then Notre Dame's Tommy Rees is going to find Corey Robinson from 35 yards out. That's right, the son of David Robinson. You could say the Admiral's son takes it to the Air Force. We're tied at 7. That one over on the CBS Sports Network.
Tim, I know you've been working on getting that into the broadcast all day long. Well done. 35-3.
Aren't they looking at Snoop Dogg's son now at Notre Dame, to tell you the truth?
My depth of research has not gone that far. Cooper, touchdown. Amari Cooper.
I wonder if this could be called back. Did Amari Cooper push off on the play? They usually let you push off with your elbow, not with your hand.
Pass interference, offense, number 9, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
It was against Cameron Sutton. Let's see what happens at the end of the play. Does he get his hand on the defender? Yes, he has that hand on the shoulder. It wasn't violent, was it?
No, not at all.
No, it was almost incidental. But when he put it on there, that's the first thing the back judge saw and then made the call.
That was not like a stiff arm.
No, it wasn't. He lays it on there and catches the football. He actually helped by putting his hand up there. He almost forced the referee into calling it, even though maybe nothing even happened.
Here's Yeldon on 2nd and 22. I do know that you are a disciple of the church of letting them play.
Yes, but unless it's too much, then I like
okay.
it. No, but that was very nifty. Good throw by the quarterback. Good coverage by the defense. And just the hand placement was just unnecessary, really. Could have caught that play by not doing that.
Third down and 16 now. Opening moments, third quarter. Tennessee got a big run from Neal to set up the field goal and got them on the boards.
Ryan Kelly in there at center now.
Now that was a late whistle. What in the world? There was something funny about the whole sequence of
the flag was thrown from the Tennessee sideline on the play. I would assume illegal procedure.
Prior to the snap, false start. 79 offense, third down.
Right tackle Austin Shepard.
Well, I didn't see any movement up there that time. I didn't, and then this is another. See, it's number 79. I wonder if he was lined up in the backfield is what the call was. That's the only thing I can think of as an illegal, he called it illegal procedure.
Third down and 21. McCarron hands it off to Yeldon, who was hit from behind and dropped. That's Corey Vereen, freshman who's made quite an impact here midway through the season for the Volunteers.
Yeah, Corey Vereen's been playing more football. He's usually just a pass rush specialist. In the South Carolina game, towards the end of that game, he was in there in all situations.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here is Cody Mandel. I introduce you to him because this is his first punt of the afternoon. He's having a really good season. 46.9 average per punt. He's at 2 of 60 plus. Jacob Carter is the deep man for the Volunteers.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. 42, the total yardage. Now let's take a look, Gary, at game trends thus far. McCarron nearly perfect.
Yeah, no pressure on A.J. McCarron in this football game. He's never really had 1/3 and long where he threw a touchdown pass. Justin Worley, of course, did about what he usually does. Had a couple drop balls against him, one receiver trip. T.J. Yeldon continues to score touchdowns. That was a short one that he did. And then the way Alabama throws the ball, they throw it to everybody, and they continue to be the same type of team in this football game.
And the true freshman Joshua Dobbs, his second series now, replacing Worley. Rajon Neal is the running back. They'll hand it off to Neal, and he does not get to the 10. Denzel DeFall, number 30, makes the stop. Second down, 9. Dobbs throws it. Caught. Nice catch.
Nice
Marquez
catch.
North. Yes.
Freshman to freshman. Good route. You know, if you're Alabama, you're saying if you can do this type of stuff, you're going to catch the football. Good protection up front and a really nice throw that time by Dobbs.
That is a gain of 14 and a first down out at the 23-yard line. North has now caught 3 for 58 yards. Dobbs keeps it. Nice run. As we mentioned last year, he rushed for in excess of 460 yards and 10 touchdowns senior year of high school.
You can almost see it coming. And, you know, all the coaches have the same problems that Butch Jones has. You're trying to save a kid's eligibility. You know, the quarterbacks aren't ready early in the year. We talked to Butch Jones about this. Wouldn't you like to put him in the game? What happens if there's an injury? And he goes, I hate to burn his red shirt, but now almost into November, and he has to play.
Play action. Dobbs under pressure. Goes deep. It's caught. That's Jonathan Johnson, number 81. As we mentioned, he missed a couple with an injury. That's a pickup of 24.
This was a little bit of a hitch and go to the outside. I think the slot receiver goes like this and then up the field. A little bit of a wheel route, it was. The ball was supposed to go deep. I don't think it was tried to throw a back shoulder, but Landon Collins had no chance for it.
And Jarek Williams couldn't get there in time. First down and 10, 8 minutes to go, third quarter. That one might have been tipped. Well, we mentioned that 49-42 game at College Station on the 14th of September. Since then, only one touchdown allowed. That was by Kentucky. This is an Alabama defense that leads the country in scoring defense, 9.7 per game. They led the country each of the last 2 years. No team has ever led the country in 3 consecutive years.
He's going to keep it.
Yes.
That Trey DePriest is such a smart football player, boy. Smallish in stature, but he is a middle linebacker that just reads his keys. Right in the middle right there. He's got his eyes on the quarterback, does not go for the fake inside to lane, and just eats up to the play to the outside.
Third down 10.
I figure they got 2 chances to pick up the first down, though.
7:21 to go, third quarter.
They're going to blitz him, aren't they?
Yep. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix is picked up, and that one is almost picked off. It's incomplete. Marquez North was defended by Cyrus Jones, number 5.
North does a good job. Ball's just a little bit inside that time. Just a bit. Good coverage by Cyrus Jones.
And Tennessee has decided to punt.
Alabama believes their best 2 corners, number 13, number 16, Blue and Silv, but he's not able to play in this game, so that's why you have Cyrus Jones out there.
Now that one cornerback position has been a troublesome spot for Alabama. One of the few. They've tried 3 men starting at that spot. That one, whoa,
I
good.
think Alabama would have liked to have had a fair catch there. That ball could have been caught about the 9 or the 10-yard line, and you risk it getting it on the 1-yard line. In a big game, there's going to be some big games coming up for Alabama. That could be a major mistake.
That's A.J. McCarron with the most recent win. He surpassed Jay Barker in winning percentage. Now, this is not number of wins, but A.J. McCarron with that 94%. And that sets up the Aflac trivia question. There's the duck. Which quarterback is the NCAA all-time leader in winning percentage? From the 1-yard line. Or actually just outside the 1. Here's McCarron. 32-2 as a starter. Jay Barker was 35-2-1 in the 90s. Yeldon bounces outside. Now he's got some room. And is knocked out of bounds by LaDarrell McNeil.
Alabama offensive line just manned up that time. Didn't push anybody off the ball, but didn't let any penetration come. T.J. Yeldon kind of stopped, stuttered, and said, all right, I'll just pop out to the outside. And all that talk about Mr. Danielson saying that's bad field position is over in one play. I said future, though.
Future. Yeldon with a 24-yard pickup, first down 10. 6:20 to go. They'll feed him again. Martin Walls made the tackle, then number 58. Walls, what a story he's got. He was recruited by Philip Fulmer, played his freshman year after Fulmer got fired for Lane Kiffin, redshirted the next year, then played for Derek Dooley, and now is playing for Butch Jones. Martin Walls.
There's a book deal there somewhere, isn't there?
I think so. It might sell better in Knoxville, Nashville, Memphis, and Chattanooga than anywhere else, but Yeldon, screen pass.
Haven't seen a lot of those. I don't watch every Alabama game, but it's one of the staples in their championship years, that screen pass, the slow screen pass. A.J. McCarron does a good job of looking to his left and drop it off to Yeldon. Of course, the famous screen pass a year ago against LSU to win the football game. That great drive.
Yeldon now with 71 yards on the ground, 28 catching. He's one shy of 100 for the day. And McCarron, Blake Sims, by the way, is his backup. I expect we'll see him in the not too distant future. But first, McCarron's got Cooper, and he overthrows him by a yard. Whoa.
Cameron Sutton had Cooper for another potential touchdown. Got bailed out by pass interference before. Play action pass, nothing better than this. If you're a quarterback, you can run the ball, turn the hips, and he's beat by 5 yards on the play and cannot catch up the ball. And AJ said that's 2 of them.
Who's it on?
It's quarterback. He's got to be.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
5 yards in the open like that.
Second down and 10.
Remember in the A&M game last year, he underthrew a deep ball and they ended up not scoring at the end of the game.
Kenyon Drake to the 40-yard line.
He is quick. You can't give up on him.
And let's go back to the studio for a Ford update once again. Here's Tim.
Vern, longtime offensive coordinator at Tennessee, David Cutcliffe, now the head coach at Duke. They haven't been a ranked team. They haven't beaten one since 1994. He knows a thing or two about coaching up quarterbacks. Anthony Boone takes it in. They lead at Virginia Tech 13-0. Back to you.
Well, David Cutcliffe, Coach Peyton at Tennessee, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning at Ole Miss. Here's McCarron again, no pressure. Gets a block from Vogler to give him time to go deep. And there's a one-on-one battle. Norwood! Kevin Norwood!
Oh, my goodness. Kevin Norwood is one of 7 fifth-year seniors for this Alabama football team. They all have 3 national championship rings, and that one is worthy of a ring on its own. What a play. A.J. McCarron waved him on the play, but look at that catch. Fantastic. A.J. McCarron, Kenny Bell, Kevin Norwood, Anthony Steen, Kellen Williams, Ed Stinson, and Tana Patrick, 7 fifth-year seniors.
This is great. To the one.
We showed that great collection Mal Moore had of all those rings. I mean, we went, wow, it was an unbelievable display for one of the great men we've met in all of college football here at, former athletic director here. But, there was about, 40 rings in that display?
At least.
But these players have 3 of them and responsible for 3 of them that Mal put in that display.
Second down and goal. Yeldon is in the backfield now. Play action. McCarron goes deep. Nope. Beyond the end zone, it's O.J. Howard. And A.J. Johnson doing a little chatting. Quickly separated.
Grabbed him on the arm on that play and turned. It was A.J. McCarron. Grabbed him on the arm. You got to be more specific, right?
You don't have to call me A.J. We've got A.J. Johnson and A.J. McCarron, and now we've got Yeldon for a touchdown. TJ, yes.
For a TD. Bounced it outside. Johnson could not make the play that time. TJ Yeldon puts it in for another easy touchdown. What a play, though. Let's go back to that great play by Kevin Norwood. That was the key play.
Adam Griffin is on to try the extra point. That one started on the 1.5, actually legally, officially, the 2-yard line. Another look.
Yeah, but instead of looking at the touchdown, let's see the play that caused the touchdown. And the reaction by A.J. McCarron. What a play, a little fist bump. And Kevin Norwood went up and got it and rightly celebrated.
.255 to go in the third. This is called synchronicity. Now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athletes. There you go. Kevin Norwood, a graduate, 3-time member of the SEC Academic Honor Roll. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to Alabama's General Scholarship Fund.
What a great career he's had here at Alabama. Still remember that national championship game against LSU in the rematch when he had those catches along the sideline. The big catches to start the drive against LSU in Baton Rouge. And he might not be 4-3, but he is dependable. He gets open, and obviously he knows his plays and can catch that football.
5 catches for 103 today. Here's the kick taken by Devin Young. And he's out of the 30.
He is quick.
Yes. Only his 3rd game of the year. Now let's go to the studio for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan. Here's Tim.
All right, Vern. Well, Bobby Bowden returns home to watch Jameis Winston, a Heisman candidate, find Nick O'Leary. That's the Golden Bears' grandson, Vern. Yes, sir. He gets into the end zone. Tonight, Marcus Mariota will attempt to keep his interceptionless streak going against UCLA, and Bryce Petty will try to lead Baylor to a school record 11 straight win when they face Kansas. Back to you.
Vern, you've trademarked that. Now, he has to pay you, doesn't he, for that?
I think so. Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That is yours. You can't do yes, sir, to you.
Thinking.
What is that going to cost him?
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, right.
The negotiations will be extremely difficult.
I'm sure you trademarked that, didn't you?
Oh, goodness. 2:29, 2:28, clock running, second down and 4.
I think the next big decision that Nick Saban's going to have to make is when does he start getting his regulars out of this football game? 2 weeks to LSU. Got a bye week before it, obviously. But right now, you would hate to lose one of your key players late in this football game.
I'm guessing end of 3. Second down and 4.
Looks like he's done most of it with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, you're right.
Maurice Smith is in a corner now, number 21.
Collins and Clinton Dix are still out there.
How about talking about, those two. I actually think with Clinton Dix and Collins, they're the best tandem of tackling safeties in college football. Now, you lose Vinny Sunseri. I think Vinny was a little better in the past. But I think these two guys, the size and the way they tackle, best 2 physical safeties in college football as a tandem.
That's high praise. Collins, of course, a freshman, 5-star recruit. Here's the handoff to Rajon Neal on 3rd and 1. Well, remember after they were defeated by Oregon 59-14, Butch Jones said, we've got the toughest schedule in the history of college football. Right.
But he was hoping that it would end after Alabama.
Now
okay?
Look.
But now it's just starting.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of the end of the gauntlet, it's the beginning of the gauntlet.
I think Butch and his staff were going to just heave a big sigh of relief after this game. Now you got Missouri and Auburn sitting there. Dobbs goes back. Oh, wide open.
Same play they ran the opposite direction early in the game.
Marquez North fights off the first tackle from Cyrus Jones. And then he's hit by Dylan Lee.
Play action pass. Same play, remember, early in the game. Opposite way. Cutting across. Once he clears the field, looks back, waits till all the traffic goes, and looks back for the football.
Had 3 huge catches, did Marquez North in that win over South Carolina last week. 20 seconds. Here's Rajon Neal. Goes left. Not much there on 1st and 10. Dylan Lee, number 25, with the stop. And that will do it. They'll make a long walk to the north end of the stadium. That's the end of 3 with a score 42-3. We will return to Tuscaloosa right after this word from your local station. Smile if you're the quarterback, A.J. McCarron. Your team is up 42-3 as we began the 4th quarter from Bryant Denny. Wow. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, and a 2nd down and 10 at the 15 for Josh Dobbs and the Volunteers of Tennessee. Stinson chases him right side. Ooh. He is popped as he gets to the 9-yard line. Well, I'll ask you the question that has, I think, kind of pervading everybody's thought. When do you rest your starters?
Well, there's a lot of pride here for this Alabama defense. We talked to C.J. Mosley yesterday, and he goes, we measure ourselves against all the other defenses that played for Alabama as well. They want a shutout, or at least not give up a touchdown, which they would consider a shutout.
And as we have said, the only touchdown since the A&M victory was Kentucky's one touchdown. 3rd down and 3.
Here they come.
Tipped, incomplete. Cyrus Jones.
Went with a back shoulder throw that time, and Cyrus Jones anticipated inside technique. He's got him all over the field. Ball was thrown properly. Nice play by Jones. And I think Butch Jones is smart here going forward. They've already gotten rid of the shutout. You might as well go for the touchdown. You got to give snaps to your quarterback. Remember, you got Missouri and Auburn coming out after this. Vanderbilt's not going to be a pushover. They want to get to 6 wins. Got about half the starters in the game, I'm being told, for Alabama.
4th down and 3. Timeout, Tennessee. Play clock issues.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
And we have a high-scoring game. It opened quickly with McCarron to Amari Cooper. This was the 3rd play of the game, 54 yards. And Cooper had put Alabama up 7-0. It quickly became 14-0 on T.J. Yeldon's 1-yard rushing touchdown. Then Kevin Norwood, the 5th-year senior, added to the total with that catch, wide open, 21-0. Yeldon with another touchdown to push the margin to 28-0. And then the big play of the 3rd quarter, Landon Collins, the freshman, now officially marked as an 89-yard touchdown on the interception. 35-0. Here's the injury that occurred to Justin Worley, the Tennessee quarterback. Injured thumb on his throwing hand. And the last touchdown, it was Yeldon for the 3rd time today. 42-3.
Got the first down, didn't he? He went to Jason Kroom.
Yes.
Nice throw to the outside. Was thinking they might go to the high ball into the end zone, but good call by the Tennessee coaching staff. Mike Bajaki and the offensive coordinator went with the first down throw and picked it up.
Here we go. Rajon Neal.
He fumbled it, but did he cross the goal line first? Watch him stick the ball out. I thought he broke the plane there, to tell you the truth. We showed you earlier that just a thin line at the front of that goal line is the touchdown.
This is an official timeout.
The ruling on the field was the runner was stopped short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
I thought he pierced that imaginary line with the football. Right in the, yeah, absolutely, right there. That's across the line. Our camera is right on that line, and that's across. I don't think his knee is down. I think that's going to be ruled a touchdown.
Quite similar to that Trey Mason effort last week.
And some positive feedback for a freshman quarterback burning a red shirt, trying to work on something for next week and the rest of their season.
The ruling is touchdown.
Doyle Jackson is the replay official. That didn't take long. He saw what we saw.
Right.
And that is the first touchdown allowed by Alabama in the last 8 quarters. Michael Pilardi out of the hold of Tyler Drummer. 42-10. 12 minutes, 58 seconds to go. Well, Butch Jones and the Volunteers get the touchdown, 42-10. And as we mentioned, that is the first touchdown scored by an Alabama opponent since the Kentucky game. And the first second half touchdown for Tennessee since 2009. That was the memorable 2 blocked field goal game. Mount Cody is here, by the way.
Had 10 points in the second half. And think about, we just talked about the second half scoring for Tennessee. You know, 6 years in a row, no points, 6 points, 7 points, no points, 3 points. And then 10 here in this game. Again, looking forward for Butch Jones. He's got to get this team ready for Missouri, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Kentucky.
And the goal is a bowl game.
Yep.
Stated goal in training camp. We need 6 wins to get into a bowl game.
And progress. They need progress. They need to keep the recruits, the players believing that we're headed in the right direction. I think everybody around the program believes that.
So A.J. McCarron might have been rested had the score remained 42-10, but the redshirt senior from Mobile is still in there. 32-2 as a starter at Alabama. Now throw it away. There you go. And it's time now to cue the duck and bring him back on and give you the answer to the Aflac trivia question, the all-time NCAA leader in winning percentage. Steve Davis of Oklahoma went 32-1-1. They were tied by Southern Cal. They lost to Kansas. Steve Davis, tragic death back in March in a plane accident. He was a partner of mine for a number of years. Steve and I came to CBS in 1982. Terrific guy.
Quite a football player.
Greatly missed. Ran the wishbone.
Yep.
And pitched the ball a lot to Joe Washington.
Not a bad plan.
Not at all. I used to tease him. They never got on television because they were on probation.
Well, you know, as Tennessee's playing this fourth quarter, they've been pretty successful the last couple games in the fourth quarter. They forced 7 punts the last 2 games. You know, Butch Jones has really preached to his team that we're in great shape and we should own the fourth quarter, and I know he's telling that to his team right now. Forget about the first half. Let's force a punt here and just play football. Forget about the score.
3rd down and 6. Nearing the 12-minute mark. Bunch formation, Wardwood the inside receiver. McCarron looking right the whole way, and he's got the pass. Yes, it was. Amari Cooper.
Ball a little high into the outside, and Cooper comes up and makes that play to the outside. You remember that before last year's LSU game, Vern, when we were talking to the chief, John Chavis, and I talked to him about all the passes that A.J. McCarron completes outside the numbers. He really is good at throwing that ball to the sideline. Throws a lot of them, and very accurate with a strong arm.
There's the handoff to Kenyon Drake, number 17. Well, all of us did have a chance to spend some time with A.J. McCarron yesterday. He said he looked at tape of a quartet of NFL quarterbacks that he admired this summer.
Right. First he looked at the bank accounts, and then he looked at these guys. He said from Peyton Manning, I like the way he takes command at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Rodgers, the way he holds that ball in the pocket, controls it. Of course, Drew Brees, former tennis player when he was growing up, and his movement and comfortableness in the pocket. And then he loves the way Tom Brady handles the shotgun. His economy of footwork in the pocket before he throws.
And McCarron trying to take something from each of them. Kenyon Drake gets a good block from DeAndrew White. And then is knocked out of bounds by A.J. Johnson.
Like the way DeAndrew White went up high and blocked high. You cannot crack back from that wide receiver position. When you're out wide, he has to come to the inside and block high, and he did it. Got Brian Randolph on the play.
A.J. Johnson, who leads this Tennessee Volunteer team with tackles. He's done that each of the last 2 years. And made that one. 3rd down and 4. 10:25 to go. This is DeAndrew White, number 2. 4-man rush, Tennessee. McCarron got it. Norwood again. And it's ripped out and recovered by the Volunteers.
Well, see, that's where I think the officials need to start calling forward progress. I have to be, it's these players, they're trying to protect players that are defenseless. That ball clearly was stripped fair and square by Tennessee. They've been trying it all game, but I thought forward progress was stopped. A good job by the defenders. Let's see if they huddle and what they're going to do with this. I did not hear a whistle.
No.
He's clearly stopped on the play going backwards when that ball
The ruling
comes
on the
out.
field is the runner's forward progress was stopped before the ball came out. First down.
I agree with that call.
A.J. Johnson is the man who ripped it out.
He gets up to about the 33 or the yard line and then goes backwards when it's ripped out. I'm looking for a little quicker whistle on that one to help those the defenseless player.
It is a 1st down and 10, Alabama, with 9:45 to go. This will be Kenyon Drake, who will skip at the line of scrimmage. This is a shifty move to the left. Had about 4 moves in that run.
A year ago, Kenyon Drake was a scout team running back at practice, and I couldn't take my eyes off of him. And I asked Coach about him, and he said, oh, yeah, we know about him. Everybody knows about him. Even his teammates were raving about how fast of a football player he is. Yesterday, I had my eye on another guy that's going to be a star at Alabama. Write down this name, Robert Foster.
Where's number 8?
Yep.
Wide receiver. 1st down and 10. 42-10 is the score. McCarron, Kenyon Drake, chased by A.J. Johnson. Look at that.
The defender,
Corey Vereen with the tackle.
Yeah, the defender tried to stop on this play. Actually went down to his knees to keep from tackling him. Vereen, no, and he just went too much. He just got a little bit too anxious, did Vereen.
After the play, dead ball personal foul, number 50 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
I think this is the right call. Player was down. College football, you're down right there. And Vereen watching too much NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, indeed.
Little drop-off play. See the speed of Drake. Vereen is pursuing downfield exactly the way he thinks, and he said, oh. And he puts his hands up like halfway through the tackle. He knew he shouldn't have hit him.
And a 1st down and goal for Alabama. This is D. Hart, number 1, his first appearance in the game. Tiny tailback, 5'9". Second down and goal. Hart remains in the backfield.
Hey, go ahead, come on.
5'9", 197-pound sophomore. Goes left. Vogler tries to find a block, and they'll spin move. Well, Gary, we opened the telecast talking about this double-headed running game.
Yeah, that's exactly the way. Well, everybody in college football likes to have two of them nowadays, especially in these conferences. You know, the big, strong guys, and the way they run the football, you need a pair of them. And this year, it kind of was an audition early in the season who would emerge as the second guy. Kenyon Drake was in the doghouse here a little bit, but his talent is obvious.
3rd and goal. That's DeAndrew White going to the left side, joining Norwood out there. McCarron pulls up, fires it, incomplete at the feet of Norwood.
Good coverage by that Tennessee secondary that time. Nowhere to go with the ball, and once A.J. goes up in the pocket, boy, here comes A.J. Johnson. He had a beat on him. Very successful drive, though. 11 plays for Alabama on that drive. Took a lot of time off the clock. What, 5 or 6 minutes at least, I think.
Adam Griffith is going to get a chance to try the field goal. This is from 20 yards. Cody Mandel will hold it, and Adam Griffith, the backup. Field goal kicker, authors 1 of 3. Well, A.J. McCarron, thought we had it. Not so much. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Nissan, Coke Zero, Sonic, and by Autotrader.com. 45-10, Alabama with a 35-point lead, 6:50 to go. Well, we've seen a number of great catches in the SEC throughout the season. How about that one from DeAndrew White? Worth another look.
Yeah, that was beauty.
Marquez North last week.
That was very impactful, wasn't it, that catch? Might have been the catch to win the game.
And Kevin Norwood earlier in this game.
That's how you're supposed to celebrate.
Exactly. Norwood with a big day today. He's got 6 for 112. 45-10. Adam Griffith will kick off. See some empty seats now in that upper end zone. And at the opposite lower part of the field, see the students. These are selected seats for the students, fraternity and sororities. And this was the topic of a lot of conversation here when Nick Saban called them out for leaving early. And in truth, most of them
are afraid to leave.
You listen to Saban.
Well, we've had some really newsworthy glitches in the news lately, but around here, I got a feeling if anybody leaves, they're going to know who it was. I just got to believe that Nick Saban has that thing being taped in the end zone.
Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. First down and 10. Joshua Dobbs on in relief of Justin Worley. Goes deep. Oh, my goodness.
A rocket.
John Fulton was defending. That was Josh Smith. Pass incomplete.
Joshua Dobbs has a tremendous amount of talent, doesn't he? I mean, great size. You mentioned his prowess in the classroom, but to come in here and play football after not getting a snap all year, and again, I just think that's something college football needs to look at. What's the big deal of letting these kids play and giving them 5 years eligibility? The good ones are leaving anyway.
Exactly. 2nd and 10. On the ground, Marlon Lane, number 15. And let's check in once again with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, this is not the first time a Tennessee freshman has been thrown in against Alabama. 2011, it was Justin Worley. Tyler Bray was out, of all things, with a broken thumb. And in that fourth quarter, Justin Worley replaced Matt Sims, and so Dobbs is getting his chance now as well.
All right, Trace, thank you. 6:10 to go.
The circle of quarterback life. Right? Good throw again.
Incomplete. And again, it was Josh Smith. And that brings up 4th and 5.
Boy, hit him right in the chest, right between the 2 and the 5 on this one. I think it was good defense that time, wasn't it? I'm going to have to give that one to John Fulton. More than a drop ball, I'm going to say that was defended well on second look.
That brings on Michael Pilardi to punt the ball away. Christian Jones is back to return it.
All right. And I've got your pizza money, Vern, that we're going to see Blake Sims on this, okay? When he comes out.
Okay. I think you're right. Pilardi. Jones, no fair catch. And he's out near the 30-yard line. That's a 45-yard punt. 2 on the return.
Nope, nobody leaves. Nobody leaves. They'll know who you are. Don't leave.
Alabama rolling. And one of the highlights earlier in the day was this end around from Christian Jones.
Yeah, we just had talked about if you had a signature for Nick Saban's teams, it's number 1 recruit, then it's matchups, and then balance run to pass. But recruit is the big one. Everybody gets involved. TJ Yeldon, AJ even waved at somebody on that one. But the talent, and it was on display again before the game when we were watching the warm-ups, and it happens everywhere around these big, universities. They have their recruits on the sideline, and the next wave of 5-star guys were all lined up before this game.
Well, that's certainly a candidate for the play of the game, and we will be choosing the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts a little later on. Blake Sims has replaced McCarron at quarterback, and this is Derrick Henry, who had an 80-yard run last week late in the game. For McCarron, 19 of 27, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he protects the ball as well as anybody in college football. No interceptions again today.
Well, he really doesn't get challenged where he has to stick the ball in there very often. And just think back. Remember, his signature, that game against A&M where we basically said during the telecast, Nick turned around and said, I got to have you. We can't stop this guy on the other side. And he came through.
Blake Sims, you saw his season stats, and we've got 5:15 to go. This is Derrick Henry again, number 27. One of the more highly recruited running backs out of high school a year ago.
Well, since that Virginia Tech game for Alabama, when everybody went into shock because Alabama didn't look like a running machine, since then against BCS teams, okay, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Arkansas, 4 of them, they ran the ball 37 times, 40 times, 44 times, 37 times. They averaged 40 attempts, 285 yards a game, and today they have 35 attempts, closing in on 200 again.
3rd down and 13 here with Blake Sims to get the ball. Chad Lindsey is in at center. Screen pass. I don't know if it was a screen pass or not.
It was. It was covered, so he threw it away that time.
And that brings up 4th and 13.
Yeah. Get your chance to go out there and you don't make a first down. Backup quarterback, you're all frustrated.
By the way, there's a relationship between the athletic departments of Tennessee and Alabama. Both athletic directors at these 2 schools graduated from Alabama. Dave Hart was a basketball player here in the early 70s and replaced Mike Hamilton off the staff of Mal Moore here. And Bill Battle replaced the late Mal Moore. He was a a member of Bear Bryant's championship team in '62, and later became the youngest head coach in college football at Tennessee. There they are before the game. Bill Battle just took over after Malmore's death, and Dave Hart, the athletic director at Tennessee.
Well, if I'm Butch Jones, I mean, I'm using these 4 minutes and 16 seconds to give my quarterback more and more snaps. This is almost turned in now to a preseason game. You got to get him ready for the next game and give him all the work you can against the best defense he may face all year.
4:10 remaining.
Do have to chuckle a bit, Vern, when you mentioned that Butch said it was the hardest schedule in the history of football. He was, you know, a little bit of that talking to the alums stuff, throwing it out there.
Sure.
He's all looking forward and, you know, talking about the schedule and getting Tennessee. But he didn't have the idea that Missouri and Auburn were going to be like this. I'm telling you right now.
Nor did many other folks. There's Tom Smith in the lineup now. Now, who would have imagined back in late August that we would be promoting a Georgia-Florida encounter from Jacksonville? We'll televise it next Saturday at 3:30. Who would have thought that both teams would enter with 4-3 records? Struggling.
Yeah, but the biggest note of that game might be Todd Gurley. Looks like he's healthy and will play in that game, and that's a different football team when they have Gurley.
Is the new center. Here's Josh Dobbs. 3 minutes to go. Well, go back to September, and this Tennessee team went out west and took on the Oregon Ducks. They lost 59-14. Today they're trailing 45-10.
Oh, I think it's more than equal. I mean, I think both guys laid down the gauntlet and played exactly the way everyone expected. Both sides said, okay, Oregon made a note, and Alabama said we can do that too.
How about this?
A couple scouts. Is that even legal? Those guys might have photographic memories. You never know.
I think they're wishing for an Oregon-Alabama BCS title game, and Florida State fans are saying, what? Ohio State fans, the same thing. Missouri fans, don't forget about us. Stay tuned for the Gene postgame show on CBS Sports next, as this splendid Saturday afternoon is about to see the lowering of the sun. 45-10, 2 minutes remaining. Keep it on the ground across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Tom Smith.
We're still here. There you go. You know, that guy in costume reminded me, we were talking to Kirby Smart. I asked him, so you got next week off. It's a bye week. How lucky can you be? It's Halloween next week, Thursday night. You'll be able to take the kids out Halloween, trick-or-treat. And he looked at me, he goes, I'm on the road recruiting. I went, what? Yep, on the road recruiting. You don't think these guys come here by just accident,
exactly. Third down, 6, 1:10 to go. Josh Dobbs. It'll be 4th down and 6.
So interesting decision by Butch Jones as he goes forward. Does he just say that Dobbs has shown me enough that I just might as well think future and just go with it? Do I get he and Riley Ferguson and just go a platoon quarterback and not worry about what's going to happen 4 years from now?
Right.
And just worry about what's going to happen the rest of this year and the next 3. Number 10 is Riley Ferguson.
Right.
Very highly sought after quarterback as well.
Pilardi is on to punt. D. Hart, number 1, is the deep man. There you go.
Well, I assume Alabama's going to take a knee anyway.
47-yard punt. Well, Nick Saban's group does get the open week, and then they're here against LSU. November 9th, we'll be here for the primetime telecast. And then they follow up with Mississippi State, Chattanooga, and at Auburn. So they've got 2 road games in conference play after they host LSU here on the 9th.
Laying out. I just don't have anything to say.
I was wondering if you were trying to enhance the drama.
I'm still here, though. I'm still here.
Thought maybe you were just going to enhance the drama of this occasion. This is Henry.
He did the basic same bounce out that Yeldon did the opposite way. Same formation. When Yeldon bounced out, remember he bounced out to the right?
Yep.
Now bounce out to the left.
.45 seconds remaining after the clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. And here is Blake Sims.
Well, I will say that, you know, my formula, if you have a chance at all, I was talking to Eli Gold about that at halftime, you must have excellent elite quarterback play to have a chance. And Zach Mettenberger's proved he can do it. So in a couple weeks, we will see a quarterback that has the ability to give Alabama problems.
Well, this was A.J. McCarron's day yet again with 275 throwing the ball. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nick Saban, Butch Jones. This is Butch Jones' first time ever inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. And our player of the game, the redshirt senior, Kevin Norwood, 6 receptions, 112 yards, long gain of 34. He had 1 touchdown. He is having a splendid final year for the Crimson Tide. And now it's time for the play of the game, presented by Napa Auto Parts, and this will feature Kevin Norwood. Here's McCarron again, no pressure. Gets a block from Vogler to give him time to go deep, and there's a one-on-one battle. Norwood! Kevin Norwood!
Oh my goodness!
Well, that capped a terrific day for Kevin Norwood. And let's go down to Tracy Wolfson, who's with Norwood and A.J. McCarron.
That's right. Let me start with you, Kevin. And we just showed it, the highlight reel, that catch at the 6-yard line. Take us through that play.
Oh, man, I just, they called the play. And next thing you know, I seen A.J. come back to my side. So the main thing I want to do is just, you know, follow him or whatever. And he was looking at me, so I just turned around and made the play.
Your reaction when he hauled that one in?
Well, I thought he jumped too early. I was about to be mad at him, but no, I mean, unbelievable player. He makes those type of plays every day, especially in practice, so I wasn't surprised one bit.
From start to finish, just a tremendous effort, but in 2 weeks you have LSU. What kind of challenge does that present?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really thinking about them right now. You know, I felt like we did our job today. You know, came out, started fast. We kind of felt disrespected because they called us the red team all week long and said we didn't deserve to be called Alabama. So we wanted to come out and prove that we weren't just any team.
This is a rivalry after all. Thanks so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, Tracy, 7 in a row now. And by an average score before today of 34-10. This one was a 35-point victory. So for Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from Tuscaloosa and Bryant-Denny Stadium, where the final score was Alabama 45, Tennessee 10. The Jeep postgame show is up next. That'll come your way after these messages and a word from your local station. See you next week from Jacksonville.